In this video, I'll take you along on our very first trip to Zermatt, a charming mountain village surrounded by the Alps and the home to the famous Matterhorn. I'll share how we got here, what the weather was like, some helpful tips we learned along the way, and all the highlights from exploring the snowy village to an unexpected adventure when we got stuck because of an avalanche. When we arrived in Zermatt, we immediately noticed that there was no regular cars, just these cute electric taxis that look like golf carts. And the views was absolutely stunning. So the first tip you need to know is you can't drive to Zermatt because the town is car-free. The only way to get here is by train. If you are driving, you need to park your car in a nearby town called Outage. Then you take a short, scenic train ride up to the Zermatt. We came by train all the way from Interlaken, so we boarded a train at Interlaken Oost train station and connected through Spiss and Visp before finally reaching Zermatt. Tip number 2 is download the SPB mobile app before your trip. This app makes getting around Switzerland so much easier. You can check train times, look up routes, buy tickets, and see real-time updates for delays and schedule changes. You can access those all from your phone. It even shows which platform your train leaves from, which is super helpful if you are into a rush or need to transfer a train. We used it a lot during our Switzerland trip, and it really helped us plan our rides and stay on track. The hotel we stayed at had an amazing view right from our window. And my favorite part of the room is the bathtub. It has this tiny little window where we can see the nice view outside while soaking in the water. After we dropped off our stuff in our hotel, we went to check out the Matterhorn Museum. In this museum, you will find out about the first people who climbed the Matterhorn. It's kind of crazy seeing the old gear they used back then. The entrance fee prices are listed on their website, which I will link down below. It is a small place but packed with stories and original gear from those early climbs. Plus, it's right in the village, so it is super easy to walk to. Tip number 3 is expect lots of walking in Zermatt, so make sure to wear comfortable shoes. And don't worry, the amazing views make all the walking totally worth it. For dinner, we had fondue with dried meats and apricots, Swiss alpine macaroni and cheese, and veal sausage with rosti. The cheese was rich, melty, and so satisfying. What I love most were the potatoes that we dipped in a cheesy sauce. It was gooey, warm, and super tasty. It was my first time trying these dishes, and I'd say the sausage and the cheesy potatoes were my favorite. The fondue is such a cozy and fun way to eat, perfect for sharing and slowing down to enjoy every bite. This first dinner we had in Zermatt cost 162 Swiss francs, which was definitely expensive, but it was such a unique and memorable experience. Tip number 4, Zermatt can be pricey, so plan ahead for a stress-free trip. Zermatt is absolutely stunning, but just a heads up, it's one of the most expensive destinations in Switzerland. From food, accommodations, activities, and even water at the restaurants, costs can add up quickly, so make sure you budget accordingly. It was so sad that the Matterhorn was still covered in clouds, so we could not see its iconic peak. We woke up to this snowy morning and it is definitely not what we were hoping for. We decided to head up to Gornegrat even though it was snowing, since we're leaving for St. Moritz tomorrow and did not want to miss our chance to see the Matterhorn. Tip number 5 is get the Swiss half-fare card if you are planning to explore different parts of Switzerland by public transport. We had the Swiss half-fare card, which was awesome because it gave us great discounts on most of our trains, buses, boats, and mountain rides, like our trip from Interlaken to Zermatt, and even on the Gornegrat band ticket. It is definitely worth getting if you plan to travel around Switzerland for up to a month and want the flexibility to explore at your own pace, while saving 50% on transport. There are other Swiss travel pass options, so I will link the official website below so you can compare and choose what works best for your trip. Gornegrat is this amazing mountain viewpoint where you are supposed to get stunning views of the Matterhorn. But today, it was snowing like crazy. We could not see anything. And the restaurants and shops were closed because of the renovations. So it was definitely a bit disappointing. We just ended up wandering around inside the museum called the Zooom the Matterhorn. It was not exactly part of our plan, but it turned out to be a pretty cool experience. The Zooom Museum has a 3D cinema and a virtual paragliding ride that was a fun way to stay warm and still make the most of the day. Tip number 6 is always check the webcam before you go. It can save you the trip if the weather's not cooperating. The live webcams show you real-time views from places like Gornegrat, so you will know if the Matterhorn is visible before heading out. You can find the webcams on the official Zermatt tourism website, which I'll link down below. We made it back to Zermatt village. Snowing! Tita! Ah! Grabe yung snow! And we had this crispy chicken from McDonald's for lunch, and I have to say, it is so much crispier than the Mac chicken from McDonald's in Canada. But it's also way more expensive. We stopped by at this colorful Lindt store in the village. I was eyeing this fancy Dubai-style chocolate, but wow, it was way too pricey. So instead, I grabbed a pistachio Lindt bar. And of course, I could not leave without picking up something cute. So I found this adorable teddy bear wearing a red hoodie with Switzerland on it, and I was gonna get the one in a sweater, but this one reminded me of my boyfriend who always wears hoodies, so I picked him instead. It kept snowing the whole day, so sadly, there was no Matterhorn view again. And since we're leaving tomorrow, we probably won't get to see it this time. It was still snowing heavily when we woke up, and we quickly noticed that there was no electricity. When we went down for breakfast, the hotel staff told us a nearby avalanche had hit nearby, cutting off the power. Not only that, but all train services were suspended, including our much-anticipated ride on the Glacier Express. So just like that, our travel plans were up in the air, with no way in or out. So now, we're stuck here in Zermatt. Kinda sad because we're stuck here, right? Most restaurants were closed, so the only place to get food was the Migros grocery store. The other stores like Coop and Denner were also closed. The shelves were almost empty, and the line to check out was super long. For lunch and dinner, we ended up with whatever we could find. We did not buy any bottles of water since there are fresh and clean fountain water. So tip number 7, bring your own water bottle. Zermatt has a clean, drinkable tap water, and there are fountains all around the village where you can refill for free. And the best part is, the water tastes super fresh since it is straight from the Alps. Since there was no electricity, we had to rely on our power bank to charge our phones. I'm really glad we brought one, and it definitely saved us in this situation. Thanks to it, we were able to stay updated by checking the announcements online and monitoring train service updates. So tip number 8, always bring a power bank when you travel, especially to this place where the weather or power can be unpredictable. We woke up to a sunny morning, and finally, the Matterhorn showed up. After days of heavy snow, it was such a beautiful and rewarding sight. There is a place in the village called Trivbekale where we were able to charge our phones and ask for hot water. It is a designated emergency shelter during avalanche situations. And honestly, it was a real lifesaver for us. Since most restaurants were still closed, the only food we could find was a few basic options. So for breakfast, we warmed up some cup noodles and had a simple bun with a hot dog inside. With the weather finally warming up, we're hopeful we can leave tomorrow. Tip number 9, take advantage of station lockers when you need a place for your bags. As the electricity slowly started coming back, the lockers at the train station became available again. We decided to store our luggage there to avoid dragging it back and forth between the hotel and the station while waiting for train services to resume. It made things so much easier, especially with all the snow and the uncertainty about when we'd be able to leave. We just made sure to grab some extra clothes and essentials to keep in our backpacks before heading back to our hotel. Finally see the Matterhorn mountain. You happy? See it? Huh? Why? In the meantime, we walked to this spot just 5 minutes away from our hotel and got an amazing up-close view of the Matterhorn. Are you happy now to see the Matterhorn?
No.
Why not?
Guys, look. Er gaan oefenen.
Doon natin magandang view.
Oo nga, no, paakyat. Yeah. Then after that, we went to this bridge to get that postcard perfect shot of the Matterhorn towering above the village. It is one of the best viewpoints in Zermatt. Matterhorn is so pretty. We spent the rest of the day walking around the village, soaking in the sunshine, breathing in the fresh mountain air, and enjoying that cozy alpine vibe. While waiting for train updates, we noticed that many of the notices were posted in Swiss German, so we had to translate them ourselves. So tip number 10, download the Google Translate app. It is super helpful for reading signs or local updates, especially in places where English translations are not always available. It can even translate text using your phone's camera. Then we bought a quiche with bacon and cheese from this local place called Fox. And it was so good that we ended up buying 2 and really enjoyed every bite. This local bakery has the iconic Matterhorn-shaped chocolate and offers a great selection of handmade breads and pastries, perfect for a quick bite.
We're gonna use the jacuzzi.
We are finally hoping to leave Zermatt today. While my boyfriend was checking us out of the hotel, I went to say goodbye to the Matterhorn, knowing that this time we were really leaving for good. By the time we got to the station, people had already started lining up. We were more than ready to join them and say our final goodbye to the mountains. Check out this massive lineup. It's like the whole village is trying to escape Zermatt at once. While we waited in line, they gave us some free food.
May lasa, babe. Sparkling.
I was not a fan of the sparkling water, but the Swiss sausage was really good. Soon the line started moving, and finally, it was our turn to get on the train.
We're finally leaving.
We're in the train! The view in the train was just absolutely amazing.
Remember the flickered, that faded away. You were the summer, I was that same old shit in me. Now you're gone.
After everything that happened, leaving Zermatt felt a little bittersweet.
Kept me alive. I said,